It's the end of the night. You know, I just got done with my work day. I had a lot to do today. I had a couple people to train. And, you know, it had me thinking, like, I was talking to a lot of the people that I was training, and they were talking about how, you know, they had these New Year's resolutions, but they stopped because they had started, and then after a week, they were good, and after 2 weeks, they were good, and then one day they fell back in to the thing that they were supposed to stop, and it just discouraged them, so they never went back to it. You know, and this is something I used to do a lot. I used to be like, man, I'm gonna stop smoking weed. I'm gonna stop drinking. I'm gonna stop watching porn. First day of the year, you know, I do it for a week. Yo, the next day, I'm like, I fall back in to that one thing I was trying to stop. Next thing I know, I just burn everything down. I would burn the whole bridge down. Why? Because I was discouraged. But I learned over time that there's nobody who's ever done something and just went cold turkey. There's nobody who was just literally a coke or a crackhead and was like, yeah, I'm just gonna stop today, and just stopped. They would stop for 2-3 days and then do it again. They would stop for 2-3 days and do it again. They would stop for a month and do it again. When I was trying to stop smoking weed, I would stop for like 2-3 weeks, do it one time. Then again, a month, do it one time. 3 months, do it one time. And then one day I just said, I stopped, I did it again, and I said, I did it one time, and I just dropped it, and then I went cold turkey. Like, the process of getting towards cold turkey takes a couple mess ups, bro. It takes a couple mess ups. And when you just burn the whole bridge down, when you just quit on trying to stop something, you know, you've just failed because you quit. You only fail when you quit. You don't fail when you just mess up. It's okay to mess up, but the problem is y'all mess up and then y'all stop. Y'all stop trying. And the worst thing about quitting is it doesn't do what you think it's gonna do. You think it takes stress away from you when you quit. When you quit, you add more stress onto your life because it's more stressful to live with the fact that you quit than to actually quit itself. Living with the fact that you quit is way more stressful than just trying, than just keep going. It's way more stressful. And I'm telling you this from experience because every time I've tried to quit, I was so messed up in the head and I hated myself and I had so much anxiety because I had to look in the mirror and say I was a quitter. That I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just keep going because I don't wanna have to look in the mirror and have to think that to myself. I don't wanna have to tell myself that I was a quitter. I don't wanna have to tell my son or my daughter that I quit. I don't wanna have to look in the mirror and tell myself that. And a lot of y'all are doing that. Y'all are letting like one little hiccup in the road have you thinking that everything is burnt down. Have you thinking that the whole bridge is burnt down. Like, drop your ego. Like, why do you think you're God? Why do you think you're God? You mess up, okay, get the fuck back up. It happens. It happens. Everybody fucking messes up. There's nobody in the world who didn't mess up. Name Michael Jordan, Tom Brady, LeBron. Any great person who was great at something, you think they didn't mess up? But nobody would have knew their greatness if they quit. Nobody knows your greatness if you quit. Nobody knows what you could be if you quit. You're supposed to mess up, bro. You're supposed to mess up. The difference between the successful and the non-successful isn't the fact that one person is better than the other. It's that one person kept failing when the other person failed and quit. That's it. I see this all the time with people I train. Like, people I train at LA Fitness every single day. They'll mess up on their calories, or they'll eat one little carb and they'll be discouraged for the whole week. And then they'll just eat a whole bunch of carbs because they're discouraged. What are you just gonna, and to me that doesn't make sense. I'm like, why would you just burn everything down? You ate one little carb. Okay, get back on the track. Like, get back to it. Get back to what you're doing. You guys hurt yourself. You are your own worst enemy. Like, literally you. You discourage yourself way more than anybody else can discourage you. You talk down on yourself way more than anybody else could talk down on you. You talk negatively on you more than anybody else. When you are supposed to be your number one supporter. You're supposed to be the one that supports you through everything, but you talk down on yourself every time. It's crazy. Everybody else around you believes in you more than you. Even the person that is negative towards you, you doubt yourself more than he even doubts you, and he doubts you. Everything is up here, dog. That's all it is. It's all up here in the mind. Your mind plays so many tricks on you. This is the importance of leaning on God, because you as a human, your thoughts are working against you at every single moment of the day. There's literally a part of your brain, right, called the amygdala, which is the part of the brain that signals when something is uncomfortable. Your goal to get this part of the brain weaker and make the prefrontal cortex stronger than the amygdala. And when you do that, that's when you start pushing through things, even when you fail, even when you don't feel like you can do it, even when you're discouraged. This is why when I fail, I don't quit, I analyze. I don't quit, I analyze. Okay, I did this wrong, I did this wrong. I messed up here. Why did I mess up here? What can I fix? What can I do? What can I change? Could this be better? Could this be better? Could I have done this better? Maybe I need to take this out of my life in order for me to be more focused. I did that yesterday. For the last 48 hours, I have not listened to music. And I stopped listening to music because I realized that it was taking me away from my purpose. So I'm like, cut out the music. I cut out the music. It wasn't really that difficult. But I didn't allow myself to say I'm gonna stop my purpose. I just cut out the thing that was distracting me. You're too in love with distractions, and you need to be more in love with purpose. Fall out of love with everything that they're using to take you away from what you're meant to be. You have a calling, you just don't realize it because you're just so focused on everything else. You know? So, like, I see this with so many people, bro. Like the people don't realize the power in sacrifice. When you realize the power in sacrificing, you'll start to see that the sacrifice is the paradise. It's not the giving into your sacrifices. It's not the giving into your desires. It's when you sacrifice the desire that your spirit gets filled. Your spirit starts to become full and less of your flesh. When you sacrifice the desire, sacrifice creates paradise. Every time, dog. Like, it's not that complicated of a thing. The more you sacrifice on a daily basis, the happier you will be with yourself. The more you say no to the sugar, the more you say no to the food you're not supposed to eat, the more you say no to sleeping in, the more you say no to the laziness, the more you say no to the flesh, the more peace and rest you will have with yourself. When we go to eternity, bro, we can't bring our flesh with us. Why? Because our flesh is evil. So we're gonna have new bodies in heaven, or new bodies on the new earth when God creates it, right? So that means that the flesh we have now is here to work against us, to take us away from God. So the more we deny the flesh, the more we sacrifice, the more spirit-filled we will be, the happier we will be with ourselves, the less insecure, the less anxious, the less stressed we will be. If you just starve the flesh, bro. This is not self-improvement. This is not you versus you. This is not looking at you in the mirror and trying to be mad at yourself. It's you versus your flesh. So I'm gonna leave everybody with that. You know, follow me on YouTube at Spider Official, Instagram, SPIDAOFFICAL.